You are welcome to today's episode of Formula for Everyday with the Formula Law.
Hi, welcome to Formula for Everyday. I am Lawrence Nkwocha, the Formula Law, and today we're going to be continuing with a book review we started on Tuesday. And the book was Be Obsessed or Be Averaged by Grant Cardone. I believe you enjoyed the episode for Tuesday, and I hope it was an interesting episode also. So today we're going to continue with the review of this book, and I'll be moving straight to chapter 2. The book is actually a very interesting read, and as I always say, I will advise everyone that is really serious about achieving success to read this book. It's a very interesting one, and it's going to inspire you in many different ways. So without further ado, let's get to it. So chapter 2 is Obsession is Your Only Option. I particularly like this chapter because there are a lot of things that resonate with me and my personal life to this chapter. Now, obsession is your only option because if you want to achieve success as an individual, you must always understand that people will call you out. People are going to call you a whole lot of names. People are going to give you different types of advice, including those people that have not actually succeeded at what they're doing. They would begin to advise you to really settle for less, to settle for where you are at the point. You know that it's not all those that are successful that are necessarily smarter than you. If you feel bad about people affirming you about what you have done when you know you should be doing more, then this book is something that you should read. If you know that there are so many other things you can do, but because of the little you've done, people are trying to tell you, okay, you've outdone yourself, you've done your best, so you should just relax. Then you should know that anyone that has hit the highest level of success was able to understand the fact that he needs to push for more. He or she needs to push for more.
You are still listening to Formula for Everyday with the Formula Law. Stay tuned.
Grant Cardone spoke about 3 positions. So the first position could be you being at that point where you really know what you want to achieve. You know the kind of success you want to achieve, but due to the fact that the society, especially in third world Africa like Nigeria, where the society has really painted a picture where you having a car, you having a house, and probably taking care of your family is a definition of success, or perhaps you having a job. You know, the whole Nigerian mentality has been that, okay, once you have a good paying job, at least a job that pays your monthly bills, and you can take care of your family and still go broke at the end of the month, you are fulfilled, you are successful. But that's not the definition of success. If you're successful in Nigeria, you should also be able to stand in other places in the world to actually. If you're successful in Nigeria, you should also have the same standard of being successful in America and in other first world nations of the world. So you need to expand your thoughts. If you've been that person that you have this definition of success, you've driven some very remarkable goals in your life, but due to the fact that society is calling you out and your siblings, your friends, your family are trying to push you into a tight spot where you need to settle for less, then you need to know that this book is a very important read for you. Secondly, you know you're on the right track, but you lack clarity. You want to be more zealous and fanatical about achieving your dreams, but you don't know how to make this happen. You need validation. Then this book, you need to, the only thing you need at this point is obsession. You need to be more obsessed about your goals. If you're seeking for validation, if you're seeking for that clarity in order to know how to push for your goals, then you need to put in more effort. Because as you continue to put in more effort, you begin to see and become more familiar with the terrain. You begin to your eyes will become more open to mentors and people, coaches that can actually push you to the right path of your dreams. Then number 3, the third position is, this is the first time that someone is telling you that obsession is okay. You know, most of us have grown up with this mentality that don't overdo. Overdo is a bad thing, man. Seriously, from what I've experienced in this life, like, those people that actually succeed are the ones that overdo. Like, you need to outdo yourself. You need to you need to make this a habit. Like, it needs to clearly become a habit. I can remember a book I was reading last year by James Clear, Atomic Habits. Now, it's the little things you do as you continue to practice your big dream. Everything comes into the grand scheme of things. So you need to push for this. You need to push for it as much as you can. So if you are living below your potential, then it is your fault. Like, you cannot blame anybody for you living below your potential. It is totally your fault. You need to learn how to take responsibility. Being obsessed is the only way to create inspiration for others and also inspiration for yourself. Now, you know very well, like in Nigeria, the government cannot inspire you. The school system cannot inspire you. Even your degree now cannot even inspire you. You need to learn how to create inspiration for yourself. You pick an interest in, if it's your school you want to pursue, fine and good. If you want to pursue business and entrepreneurship, you want to pursue a career line or something, you need to pick it and you need to be very, very committed to it. You need to be excessively obsessed about it. So success is to have massive amounts of whatever dream you choose. So whatever it is whatever area, whatever endeavor, whatever sphere you choose to specialize in, when you have a massive amount of results in that area, when you have a massive amount of whatever you need in that area, then you're actually successful. Now, many people define success in different terms, and people now say, okay, don't kill yourself, we're going to die and leave everything we acquire in this world. That's the truth. Yes, we all die, then that's why life is worth living. Anything worth doing is worth doing well. So for the fact that we are all going to die one day, that's the main reason why you need to push your best and live your best life. You need to do all you can while life still lasts.
You are still listening to Formula for Every Day with the Formula Law. Stay tuned.
According to Grant Cardone, he said success is being great at many things, not just one thing. We're not talking about just having money. You're just talking about community service. You're talking about service in church or in the mosque or wherever it is that you worship. You're talking about being very useful to the world, not just your family, not just your country, but we're talking about global impact. There are so many people, so many successful people that have impacted the world. Like one of the most recent successes of which we all know, someone like Cristiano Ronaldo. Like personally, he has been inspiring me very, very lately. This man has done. He's now a legend in the whole sport, all right? So there are so many other people that have inspired people in very tremendous ways. We have people like, that's in the Nigerian space, like Okonji Iweala. We have Tole Elumelu, and he runs a foundation. We have people like, coming to the entertainment scene, the AY, that's AY Makun. Like, these are very phenomenal Africans and Nigerians that have inspired people in very, very tremendous ways. And if you look at it, you see that these people have done so much and they've been so obsessed about their goals, so focused, and it has created inspiration for both them and we that are looking up to them. It's okay not to settle for less. It's okay to push for excellence. But you must always remember that complacency is not a thing of pride. You being satisfied with where you are, you settling for the status quo because of what the environment and the obvious society of your time suggests to you, it's not a thing of pride. It's not something you should be happy about. So I like the questions that Grant Cardone asked. He asked about 3 or 4 questions, but I'm just going to summarize it in this one question. He said, have you ever wished to be famous, to fly in a private jet, to be a household name? Like when you mention Coca-Cola or Mark Zuckerberg or Cristiano Ronaldo, like the CR7. Have you ever wished for your name to be like that? I know yes, your answer will certainly be yes. Even those people that say no are not being honest, because everybody wants to leave an impact in this world that will certainly outlive them. Everybody wants to be a record breaker, but very few people are willing to put in the effort. Very few people are willing to put in the work. That's why you need to be different. You need to set a pace for yourself. Now, the people that have attained this level of success, we are where they were not sitting around wishing for things. They put in the work, they put in the sweat. So you need to push for your best potentials. Don't settle for less. Don't settle for less than you can achieve. As you continue to walk in this journey of self-improvement and personal development, you realize that different potentials are opening up to you.
You are still listening to Formula for Every Day with the Formula Law. Stay tuned.
Miles Morrell and his teachings on discovery of potential. And I've realized that humans are an enormous pack of potentials. The amount of things you can do, you have not discovered 50% of them yet. So there are so many things you can do, and the truth about it is that you begin to fall into the light of everything you can do as you continue to do. You don't get to know some of these things by sitting around and wishing that you can actually do them. You get to understand them by getting to work and actually doing them. So he said, the super successful will never tell you to do less. Those who tell you to calm down are trying to make sense of why they quit. So wherever it is that is telling you to just relax, calm down, life is not about working and working. Like, sincerely, they're just trying to make sense of the fact of why they are trying to settle for average. All right. So many settle for average just because they think there's not enough to go by. Like they just settle for what is readily available. When they catch a very secure space, then they just try to niche themselves and restrict themselves to that level of success. So you be called a control freak. Personally, I've experienced this, but those who don't like control have given up on it. The truth is that we all know that God is the master of the universe. I like the way John C. Maxwell put it. He said, he said, leaders know that they are in charge, but God is the one in control. So the actual word control now is that God is the Oga of everything. Using some Nigerian colloquial language, say God is the Oga pata pata of everything, okay? But leaders know that they are in charge. So you're in charge of your life. You are responsible for whatever your life turns out to be. It's not the government's fault. It's not your school's fault. It's not your parents' fault. You don't need to keep holding grudges about things that happened a very long time ago. You need to step up and start out with exactly what you want to achieve in life. So avoid the distraction of the masses. I love the way John Obidi will put this. Besides, a very special shout out to John Obidi. Today is his birthday. All right, so at the end of this, I'll be able to give a more elaborate shout out to one very inspirational paragon in this digital space, especially in Africa and Nigeria. So he said, avoid distraction of the masses. You cannot scale, you cannot ascend with pedestrian wisdom. There's a lot of terror. You check out the Afghanistan news, the social media, political false hopes, TV, and so many things popping up to distract you from your dreams. But you need to still laser focused on exactly what you want to achieve.
You are still listening to Formula for Every Day with the Formula Law. Stay tuned.
Okay, so there's so much mindless content online. We have from pornography to Snapchat to IG and so many things to distract you from your goal of achieving success. And trust me, with all these distractions today, the probability of attaining success is very slight. I read something on John Obidi's story a few days back. He said the irony of this time is that we have been given supercomputers in our pockets and they've deposited some form of dopamine in our brain. You know, some people are now addicted to some of these technologies, and instead of using these technologies to advance your personal cause, you now find out that it has turned to a destructive distraction for you. But you need to come back to yourself. Like, trust me, there's so much that you can do in this life. There's so much your world is waiting for you to achieve. There's so much that your world wants to benefit from your skill, from whatever it is that God has deposited in you. Nobody shares your dreams. Take responsibility and don't take advice from quitters. And according to Grant Cardone, he said quitters are the average people, those that decide to settle for the conventional definition of what comfortable means, those that decide to settle with the status quo. Then he said, regardless of your industry, obsession is compulsory for success. So like those people that attain success in your industry certainly did not give in 80% or 90%. They give in their best, they give in their all. Most of the time, they even have to outdo themselves. So that is exactly the mind you should come with. You should come with the mind of giving in everything that you can, every single thing that you can. According to Grant Cardone, he said, embrace the die-trying mentality because we are all going to die someday. Yes, that is a basic characteristic of living things. All living things die. So everything has a price. Victory and being average all have a price. So if you want to become a success, there is a very great and tremendous price to pay. But if you want to be average, which is the easier way out, and according to James Clear in his book Atomic Habits, he said people always tilt towards the path of least resistance, and the path of least resistance is the path of average, the path of mediocrity. So this book is clearly going to give you a push. It's going to give you a push to why you need to push for your goals. So besides, there's nobody we both know their names that wasn't obsessed. It's time to get our names on the list. It's time for us to put our names in history. It's time for us to actually push for those goals, those childhood dreams, those goals that we've always had that want to do. And the truth is that this continues to evolve. It evolves over time. So you don't expect that as you're starting out now, that is exactly how it gets better. It only gets better as you keep pushing with that obsessive nature of being determined to achieve whatever it is that you want.
You are still listening to Formula for Every Day with the Formula Law. Stay tuned.
So I want to give this special shout out to a paragon in the digital space. Happy birthday, Mr. John Obidi. He has been a mentor and inspiration of exceptional wisdom to so many young Africans. Thank you very much, sir, for all you do. God bless you. May your legacy live on. Thank you, sir. So with this, we've come to the end of today's episode of Formula for Every Day. I remain your host, Lawrence Nkwocha. This is Formula for Every Day. I hope to see you on the next episode by God's grace on Sunday, which will be a special episode. Bye for now.
This podcast holds every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday. Thank you for listening to today's Roadside. Hope you learned something new. I would like you to join in on the next episode.